my question would be is, what is the point of atheism? I have a hard time trying to understand it.
I mean, I can give a quick answer and then John can give whatever his answer is.
Okay.
To me, it's not so much that there's a point to it as it's just simply what I am. I don't know that there's a point to atheism. It's like saying, is there a point to me being a brunette?
Well, I always assumed that atheism was another way of trying to teach people that religion was wrong, and I don't know, I felt like a big jerk about it, always telling that to people.
You were telling people this? I mean, that's okay. I'm just asking, did I hear you right that you were telling people that atheism was about telling other people that religion is wrong?
Well, that's what I assumed, because there really is no way of following how to practice atheism, I guess.
Well, right, there's no
like
practicing atheism. It's just simply not believing that a God exists, correct?
Yeah, it's not a practice. It's not a set of beliefs or an attitude or a way of living. It's just, I don't believe in a God.
I mean, I'm going to say that I'm glad that you're not telling people that anymore. but I will.
I'm not, but
I will
felt
also
like a
say
jerk
that
when I was.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think that it's fine to, if people have beliefs, for example, that they're handing to you, and you aren't interested in having those beliefs handed to you, and you ask them about it and you challenge them, I think that's perfectly fair. Anyone that's willing to talk, or like we do with this show, right? We open the phone lines, and anyone who wants to talk about it can call us up and talk about it. It's an open invitation, but people don't have to call us. They can if they want to. In your case, though, you're saying that you didn't believe, and you had these ideas about atheism, which are kind of negative, and some people do. I mean, we do. Part of the reason for the show is that there's a big gap where there's a lot of information about religion out there, right? So we have a lot of channels, TV channels that talk about religion. We have a lot of radio stations and gospel music and stuff that talks about religion. And then where I live,
I agree with you on that.
Well, here in Texas, for example, there are billboards that are about, invitationals to church. And then we also, where I live, I can literally walk to about 5 churches just from my house, different denominations. So there's a lot of not just Christian voice, but religious voice that's out there. And so this show was started because there really isn't a mechanism like that for atheism, right? I mean, if you're online and you're in the atheist community, you're exposed to a lot more of atheist voice than there used to be. But for a long time in the public square, the atheist voice was silenced because people didn't speak up. And even today, when there's so many more people speaking up, you still have a lot of people that are scared to say that they're atheists for different reasons. We have euphemisms for it that people will use. We also have situations where people say they would take backlash from their communities, backlash from their families. So they're afraid to say anything about their lack of belief in a God. And then what happens is, a lot of times churches will get up. Not all churches do this, but there are churches who get up and then they malign us and they demean us. They tell people misconceptions and disinformation about atheism. And then people, before they even meet us, they have these really bad ideas about what we represent. And the fact is, each individual atheist is representing for themselves. And some of us are going to be nice people, and some of us are going to be assholes. And it's just a situation where we're just people.
But I don't know, I looked at atheism the same way you're talking about it, mm-hmm. and also how people were always antagonizing me because they wanted me to give them proof, and I would try to tell them some of the websites that I go to. At the same time, I guess it would be to. Oh man, I just lost my
it's okay.
thought right now.
Take a minute.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
I guess here, I'll just move on to another question.
Okay.
Do you fear death by any chance?
I don't think I fear it. I mean, it's not like I'm looking forward to it, but I fear dying more than I fear death. Death doesn't really frighten me. I hope that my mode of death is not horrific.
Yeah, I don't want to be in a lot of pain or suffer, but
yeah.
The idea of just not being here anymore is kind of like, well, did I fear before I was born? Did I fear that? Well, no, it's it was nothingness then. So
yeah, I fear the dying process, more than I fear death. Does that make sense?
It does, because even right now, I'm fearing it a lot because of what happened to me recently with my coworker. I had a strong mental barrier, but it went down as soon as she started making some points, and then from there, I just started to think, oh my God, I need to believe in something then because it's destroying my brain, destroying my mind. Something's going wrong with me. And of course, like I said, I'm not a religious person. I believe there is a being out there, but I try to look at it in an atheist way and how I used to handle it, but it's not working lately.
What is it that scares you? Like, what is it that scares you about it?
The nothingness after death, that the person you love, the person you see, the people you have met, you won't see at all.
Well, don't you think that you could also work on perhaps altering that perspective to one of saying, because my time is limited here, I really need to focus on what happens while I'm here because I'm not going to have forever?
I have been doing that now.
That's good. Don't you think that's a good thing?
It is, because it makes me feel much better, but for some reason, I'm kind of using the word of like saying God and stuff like that to people because I've been meeting a lot of people lately that are in pain also. But I feel like a hypocrite also because I'm like, I was once atheist. How am I even preaching this?
Well, I guess I'm wondering, so I understand what you're saying about you have a fear of death, right? So it wouldn't even matter if it was death. Something is scaring you, and it's like a reality that you're not going to escape. And then there's this idea of a comforting concept that says you die, but it's just a transition to eternal life, which to you, you're saying, this is very comforting to me.
It is comforting, but kind of boring at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Sorry, not to be negative on that.
No, I think there's people who have explored the concept of the boringness of eternity. But I guess, do you actually believe that it's true that after death you're going to go on forever? Or are you simply saying that you kind of hope that you're wrong about death being finite and that you will go on forever?
I don't know. Like, as an atheist, or a once atheist, I used to say, well, it's just the end. That's it. Nothing else is there.
Did it freak you out then?
At first it didn't, because it was more comforting than having to listen to biblical stories of the Bible and how these did happen back then. But now, as I'm older, it does frighten me. Okay.
I don't know, John, do you have...
And that's why I was always wondering, what was the whole entire point of me learning atheism then?
Well, I think, to me, the point of what you would do with your life is with your life. I mean, the point to my life isn't my death, right? The point to my life is my life, and I need to get on with it, because after when it ends, it ends. And so the time that I'm here becomes something that I really need to focus on as far as understanding that this is it. This is the party. So it's like, I remember Matt used to use an example of, I guess, a good meal. But let's say you went to a party, right? And you're looking forward to this party. You come to the party, and the party is awesome, and you know the party's going to end. Do you sit there during the whole party just moping and being sad and saying, I'm so upset that this party's not going to go on forever? Or do you enjoy the party?
I guess I would enjoy the party.
Even though you know it's going to end?
Yeah.
That's, I guess, what I'm saying.
Well, and either way, if you make the most out of your life that you're living, no matter what happens when you die, you will have led the best life that you could live now. Mm-hmm. And then what happens when you die is going to happen, regardless of what you believe is going to happen.
Right.
It's, so you really don't have any control over that. So yeah, the idea that there might be nothing might be a little daunting, but what's going to happen is going to happen. So it's kind of like...
Everyone gets their shot. We all get our shot. And you're kind of fortunate because some people don't get much of a shot. There are a lot of people that don't even make it to adulthood, right? So just being able to live a life where you actually hit the point where you now have the option to control your life to a large degree, where you're I'm assuming, an independent person, and here you have a life. You have a life. A lot of people don't. Some people are born in situations where they have almost no options, where just surviving day to day is nearly impossible. And here, you know, I just look at it like I feel so full of opportunity with the place that I was born and the time that I was born and the all of the benefits that I was born into. To be able to have this life is just something that I don't think that at this point, having lived as much of it as I have, I don't think I could complain if it were, you know, to even end tomorrow, because I've really had a shot here.
Well, I guess you answered all my questions.
I don't know that I can help you. I
much.
can't make you feel better,
No.
you know, but I...
No. I wasn't looking to to actually feel better, but I was just trying to see if there was like some type of, you know, like almost like a similar Bible to the atheist way.
No, it's
and trying
just...
to see what was the concept that I was
part of the
studying there,
benefits,
why I
well,
practiced it.
part of the benefits of, for me, part of the benefit of leaving religion and becoming an atheist was that I felt like I got my life back, right? I felt like I was able now to make choices for myself and make decisions and actually examine what did I value, because the religion I was a part of, and I know this isn't every religion, but the religion I was a part of actually taught me that I had to be a certain way and that if I wasn't, it was awful and sinful and wrong. And so I had to actually suppress myself to keep trying to live up to some model that they had made that wasn't even really amenable to, you know, human reality. And so I spent my time trying to live up to that. And then once I realized that this was not, that where I was at was not correct, I was able to then say, well, then what do I value? And what do I want to do with my life? And where do I think my effort and my energy, my resource should be expended? That was such I feel now like I'm living my life, like I'm able to live my life. And I feel like before I was trying to live someone else's life.
Well, thank you so much.
Sure. And good luck with it. I mean, I hope, you know, just keep looking into it. There's a lot of different views, and hopefully you'll find some things that help you make better sense of it and help you resolve the questions that you're asking.
Thank you.
Sure. Thank you.
And have a great day, both of you.
You too.
You too.